Welcome to Blind and Thriving, the platform where vision doesn't define the mission. Here, I interview incredible individuals who are blind or have low vision, proving every day that blindness does not stop the grind. We're not just thinking outside the box, we're jumping out of it, smashing stereotypes and showing the world what thriving truly looks like. So, without further ado, let me introduce my very special guest.
So, hey, Facebook family, it's your girl, Melissa Jackson, and welcome to another episode of Blind and Thriving, where we spotlight real stories, real strength, and the raw truth about living life without limits. Tonight, I've got a very special guest, a powerful woman who has faced vision loss but never lost her sight of her purpose. So go ahead, tag a friend, hit that share button, and get comfortable because you're about to be inspired. So let me know when you're ready, love.
Okay. Can y'all hear me? Can you still hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you perfectly fine.
Okay. I'm turning my voiceover off so we don't have no more interruptions with the screen reader. And my baby and his dad is about to walk out so we can have a quiet setting. I really hope it's not too dark.
No, it's fine.
But
Everything is fine.
Daddy.
So, can you introduce yourself and tell us where you are from?
Yes. My name is Ariana Dewberry. I am from Dallas, Texas. I professionally go by Professor Blindy. And yes, that's where I am and where I'm from and who I am. And I'm so excited to be here.
And I'm glad you didn't have seem like you had no problems getting on. That's like awesome.
Nah, not at all. Cause I used to have a show I did weekly on Facebook, so I'm really familiar with live.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind explaining to the viewers, how would you describe your vision at this point?
My vision is light perception only. I have no central vision at all, and I have slight shadow and hand movement in my left peripheral, but it's only sometimes, and it got to be the right place with the right light at the right time. So all of those
Right.
things, but I don't depend on being able to see the shadows, but my light perception has been able to, help me not live life so dark.
Right, right. So, were you born blind or did you lose your vision over a period of time like I did?
No, I was not born blind. I have a diagnosis called pseudotumor cerebri, which ultimately is just a false brain tumor. Um, what ended up happening was I was in college and I started having like muscle pain. My back was hurting a lot, and by the end of the month, I had got double vision in one eye. And by the end of that week that I got double vision, um, I had blurred vision, and my eyesight just kind of deteriorated over that month. And
Wow.
then I had eye surgery and completely lost whatever usable central vision I had.
So, you said it was caused by a brain tumor?
A false brain tumor.
Wow. I've never heard of that before. See, I'm learning something new today.
Yes. So basically, with my diagnosis, and that's something that I love to educate people about on my platform, is pseudotumor cerebri, which is a false brain tumor. A lot of the scientific words I'm about to spit out are, I can also say them in layman's term, but the cerebrospinal fluid, which is fluid that is produced in your brain, actually began to build up on my spine because it no longer was being distributed and absorbed through my body as it was supposed to. So it just built up on my spine. When it built up on my spine, that was really the cause of the back pain. And it built up so much so that it traveled behind my eyes, and caused my optic nerve to become inflamed and swell.
Wow.
And that is ultimately what caused the distorted vision.
So, what was the hardest part about adjusting to blindness for you?
The hardest part about adjusting to blindness was feeling like I was ripped out of my life unwillingly. Like, it wasn't something that I had time to just kind of cope with and, like, okay, yes, you know that this is going to happen, so
Wow.
you have time to deal with it. No, this happened very fast, very drastic. I
Wow.
went from being 19 in college, living on my own, having my job, and to being basically dependent on everything and everybody to do something for me. And I hated every part of
Oh
it.
yeah, especially when you're so used to doing stuff on your own and then you jump into, having to ask others to assist you. That's why I always preach about independence, but you can't
Right.
really just get your independence soon as because you're still trying to
Cope with
gather
it.
what just happened to you.
Yeah, you like, what is
Yes,
this?
yes.
Like, so you really, and I think one of the things that was really hard was they kept saying, oh, well, this is only temporary blindness. This is only temporary blindness. And so I'm like, okay, temporary. My doctor initially said I was only supposed to have impaired vision for 3 months.
Wow.
He said, your vision is likely not ever going to go back to as good as it was, because I never had any visual problems, no visual impairment ever. And he was like, it's probably not going to go back to that, but it will start to clear up. Never happened.
Wow. That's what I say. Doctors, they are just human, just like us. And
Mm.
they really just don't know. They really just predict.
Right. They're
They don't know.
practicing. That's why they say I practice.
Yes,
They're
yes.
practicing because it was no way for him to like give me that type of information wholeheartedly and feel it in his chest. Like, yeah, nah,
Exactly.
girl. So
Right. So when was the moment you realized I got this? When was the moment you realized you was gaining your independence and you was like, I think I could do this. I got this.
my moment, I am still getting it actually.
Hey.
I am still getting it, but I knew what the turning point for me was that I was really tired of being dependent on people. I was
Mhm.
tired of waiting around. And so once I actually was able to, get into, I don't know where you're from. Wait, sorry.
I'm
This
not
is
far from you. I live in Port Arthur.
okay, period.
I just went to a convention last year in October in Dallas downtown.
Yeah, oh, I was there.
You was
Yeah.
there?
Yes, I sure was. But I I what was I talking about? Oh, I went
Just
to Chris Cole. And
okay.
I started the process of being accepted into Chris Cole, doing my TWC work. And when I was at Chris Cole, I was able to go. I was part of like the first two classes that were allowed in during COVID.
Okay.
And so I was so determined and happy to be out there and to gain that independence. Like, that's why I love Austin. I feel like I gained
Yes.
my wings there. And I was actually pregnant during my time at Chris Cole.
Wow.
So it was like, I feel like that's when I really knew, like, okay, I can be independent because who's gonna take care of these babies?
Right.
Me.
Right.
And then to
Exactly.
be immersed into a program with a display of so many blind parents, and to gain from each one of them and to learn from everybody around me, it was like whew, wonderful. And then the icing on the cake was I was pregnant with twins.
What you say? Oh my
and my
God.
and my counselor at Chris Cole was like, oh, twins, okay, I got twins. And I'm like, you got twins? And she's like, yeah, I got twins. Girl, it's
Man.
doable. You got it. And I'm like, whew, that's what I needed. It's kind of like Chris Cole and all of the people there. They just blew another breath of life into me
They do.
with the training and everything. And I was just so happy to just receive that. So that's really when I had that first inkling, like, okay, girl, you
Yeah.
got it. You
And
got
it
it.
helps when you be around excuse me, other people like you that you
Mhm.
see that are independent, they are parents, they're working, they're still doing barbecuing, they're still going partying, they
Yeah.
doing everything. And
Yeah.
it hypes you up to be like, hey, if they doing it, I can do it too.
No, for real. I remember before I was pregnant, and I was at Chris Cole, I was like, we called the bus. I think we called one bus, two buses, a connecting bus, and walked like 3 blocks because we was like, we want to go to the bar.
Okay?
And me and the other students, we was like, okay, so on this day we're gonna go out and we're gonna have us a good time, and we organized it ourselves. No O&M instructor, nobody else. It's just us wanting to get out the center, and we did it, and we had so much fun that night.
And
And I
that's
was
a
like,
good feeling,
wow.
man. That's a good feeling. So let me ask you a question. Are you a cane user, a guide dog user? How do you navigate on a day to day?
I navigate with a cane.
Okay. Okay. Do your cane have a name?
So my first cane was named Candy. Then I had a cane. I named it Wick because it reminded me like of a candle wick.
Uh-huh.
And then I think I had another one, but I forgot. I don't know what I named her, but I be naming them.
Yeah. I
I
have
name
a
them.
cane. I'm a guide dog user, but doing certain elements and stuff, I have to leave him at home. So I do use my cane, and I can't say her name on here.
That boy.
And she got a bad
Oh, that
name.
girl.
So, even though you accepted your blindness, we all have good and bad days.
Mhm.
So what keeps you motivated through your bad days?
On my bad days, like I have a business named Blind Intelligence, and when I initially started the business, I linked on these sticky notes, and I would post these virtual sticky notes, basically with just inspirational messages. And my favorite one, well, one of my favorite ones is that I cope with hope, but I don't mope.
I
So
like
cope with
that.
hope, but don't mope, because it's easy to sit in a pity party and feel
Yes.
like, why me? The world is against me. I don't know what I did so wrong. And it's like, no, I have to have that hope that you'll figure it out. Life be life, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So
Life
I
for
think that,
everybody. Yeah.
yes. So I feel like having that type of optimism about life, and just for a minute, not even for a minute, if it's something completely new to me, I still like sit there and be like, is this possible? And it's like, girl, yeah, it is. But I'm like, girl, but how? And so I just sit there and gotta talk to yourself for a minute. Like, myself told myself, like, hey, girl, you can do it. So,
And you doing it.
mm-hmm.
So are you currently working, or do you have a passion that you're passionate about and you have some projects brewing?
Currently, I am in school. I just got accepted. Well, I just graduated with my associates. I finally went back to college spring 2024 and gradually worked my way up to feeling comfortable to taking on a full course load again.
Uh-huh.
And I graduated, and then I applied to the occupational therapy assistant program at my school,
It's awesome.
and I got accepted into that. And now that begins in August, and during over this break we are figuring out all of the accommodations and how am I going to do this, because my program director, she is very transparent with saying, I've never done this before, but I'm willing to learn, adapt, and figure it out. So that's kind of my love project. Me, getting through that occupational therapy assistant program. Entrepreneurially, I sell t-shirts, and
Okay.
I do public speaking, detailing my journey with blindness, college, school, anything. I speak on a diverse amount of topics, and yeah, I am currently working on a book. So
That is great. Do you have a website or anything where people could reach out to you to get your shirts?
Yes, the link is actually in my bio on my business page on Facebook. You can find it at Blind Intelligence. It's going to say Professor Blindy as the name, but type in Blind Intelligence and you're going to see all things Professor Blindy and what I be having going on.
So, have I run into misconceptions about blindness every day of my life. Every day I walk out this door. What
Yes.
is the most thing that you have heard that is not true about a blind person? As in, oh, you can't do that, you blind, or how you do that because you blind?
It's so many, but
Yes.
it's so many. It's like, dang, if you hadn't asked that, I would have been able to tell you. But I would say one of the biggest things I get questioned about is like parenting. But really, it's the independent traveling, honestly. Like, how can you do that safely on your own? And I just had a situation literally yesterday where I walked my neighborhood and they all my family like, oh, that's so dangerous, and da da da. But I'm like, y'all, I gotta get out. Like,
Exactly.
I want to go live my life. Y'all not gonna sit here and walk with me. What you want me to do? Be trapped up in this house? Like, I'm not doing it.
Exactly.
So I went walking, and of all days, it's the day that my sister actually decides to tag along with me. A dog run up,
Oh my Lord.
and I was like, now it's got to be this big thing, and it was. And I'm like, they're like, it's so dangerous. You shouldn't do that. And I'm just like, but are you gonna go walking with me? No.
But the
So I'm gonna keep
thing is,
doing it.
a dog will run up on anybody, blind, sighted,
Yeah.
wheelchair user, anything.
Yeah, I was like, they don't care. It's like that's not
No.
dangerous. They're more so mad about the fact that, well, because you're blind, you can't give a description of what dog it was, where the dog came from, if it actually belonged to somebody, is it a stray, da da da. And I'm like, okay, all of that is valid, but what do you want me to do?
Yeah, you got to get out because that's crucial to your mental health. You stay in the house, you're gonna go mad.
Yeah. I'm like, I felt like before I went to Chris Cole, that whole time I felt like a caged bird. Like my wings was clipped
Right,
and I couldn't do anything but depend on everybody to do stuff. And I was like, no, I don't want to live that life of fear. Because of course you saying all of this stuff, but you don't think all of that went through my brain before
right,
I decided like, nah, come on, let's go for this walk.
right.
Like everybody, we have dogs. We have well, my sister just moved out, but American Bulldog, big.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
She get let out in the front yard without a leash to go potty. She might run down the street and come back. We know she's harmless. You
Yeah,
think somebody walking? No, she harmless?
they gonna
No.
be scared. Yeah,
So
right,
it's like I can't just sit there and be like, no, I'm not gonna go outside unless somebody's with me because nobody's ever available to be with me, or it's on their time. I don't want to work on nobody else's time.
preach
So
it, preach it, baby. Because look, that's how I am too. So,
yeah,
since we're on the topic about family, it seems like you have a big support system.
yeah, they and my family is huge, huge. So I have a really big support system, and they all have the best intentions for me. But sometimes I just gotta pop out and show niggas. That's what they say.
Okay, all
That
right.
nah. A lot of things, like when I was at Chris Cole in Austin, I FaceTime my mama while I was at the bus stop because I had a route to do on a bus. And my mom be like, please don't call me when you at the bus stop. Please don't. Please don't call me and tell me what you about to go and do because my nerves are bad. And I'm like, oh, okay. But she's like, everybody is so protective. Like,
That's what I was supposed to say. They want to
they're,
protect you, but they don't understand that they're really holding you back. Like you got to get out and you have to, be independent.
yeah, and it was even like a fight with my dad when I first got my cane. Like he was so against my cane. Like You're not using that. What are you using it for? If you have people with you, what's the point of using your cane? And I'm like,
Man,
you know I'm blind. I don't look like people. People have a stereotype of what blind people look like.
tell him.
And I'm there every time I go out without my cane previously before I got one. They're like, you don't look blind. You don't look blind. How does a blind person look?
Exactly. Tell him, baby. Tell him.
And I don't wear shades often.
Hmm.
So I'm like, no, baby. They need to see this cane so they can get out the way.
Girl, I've had people ask me, why do you have that?
I don't know. It's just straight ignorant, but it's okay because I be ready. I have my cane because
Okay. So I don't want to be too intrusive, but you did say that your child's father, they went outside.
yeah, they went to the grocery store.
Okay, so how did y'all meet? How was it dating while blind? Was it difficult? Did he come up to you? Did you come up to
Well,
him? How did that go?
well, actually, I met my kid's dad 6 months before I went blind.
Okay.
So I met him before I went blind. And it's just because I worked at a hotel and he was a, what are people who stay at hotels called? An occupant at the hotel.
Okay.
So he was at the hotel and we struck up a conversation from there. When I lost my eyesight, I actually wasn't talking to him. And then after I lost my eyesight and I was like out the hospital and everything, I gave him a call and I was just like, hey, I know you haven't heard from me. I just wanted to let you know that I went blind and I was in the hospital, and that's how everything. Like that's why I wasn't responding to you. And he was like, "You what?"
I know that shocked him, just like it shocked you.
Yeah. He was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I don't." He said, "I don't care about you going blind. Like, I still like you. Like, I'm still interested." And I'm like, "For real?" And he's like,
That speaks
"Yeah."
volumes about his character. That's good.
So we began the process and we talked for like a whole entire year, just like basically getting to know each other and seeing each other every so often. And then we made it official. 2 years after we made it official, was it 2 years? Yeah, 2 years after we made it official, we welcomed our children, and then we actually broke up last year. So I have been in the dating pool that is quite filled with urine. But I was like, yeah,
The
that's
dating
me.
pool is not where it needs, it's a sewage pool.
Yeah, for real, for real. I'm like, but then it's also like I don't even take it too serious because I'm so into getting myself together, getting my
Right.
life back on track, and providing for my son independently. I'm like,
Mhm.
I really don't even have time to invest into a relationship, so
Yeah,
I
I
can do
understand
that.
that. So, what advice would you give someone younger and they just went blind and they feel like their life is over? Like they're in that depressive mode and they feel like they can't do anything.
Honestly, I would say still do the things that you used to love.
Hmm.
Find accommodations, adaptations to the things that you did while you were sighted. Because as much as I can't see a Zumba instructor, I'm still gonna go to a Zumba class
Come on
and
now.
just take it to the beat. Like, but
Yes.
it's still finding joy in it because I went through that, and sometimes I still go through it when it's like, dang, hold on, wait, I used to really like that, but it's just finding a way to still do the things that you enjoy.
Right.
So continue to just be you. You didn't change because your eyesight and your vision changed. You are still you at heart. So just do what you still love to do, and sometimes you lose people in the process.
Hmm.
Don't let that affect you. Even though it will affect you, you can't control external things. You can only control internal.
Right.
So
Right.
continue to pour into yourself. I used to do mantras and mantras and what's they called? The affirmations
Yeah.
on my phone. Do those. Pour into yourself. Make a
Mhm.
list of the things that you like to do, you love to do, things you're good at, and build from there. And then
Right.
once you find those things, Google them. Chat
Yeah.
GPT them. How can I do this blind? Are there
Yeah.
other blind people doing it? How can we
Yeah.
do this?
Exactly. That's
And
good
go with it.
advice. That's good advice.
Yes, my sister thought I was asking my sister when I first went blind. I'm like, can we sit and watch like blind people on YouTube? And she said, why would we sit and watch blind people on YouTube so you can be sad? And I'm like, no.
Hey.
I'm just like, no. I just want to see what are they doing. Like, I want to
Mhm.
see them living their life because right now it seems impossible. Right now, I've never had, and that's something that I struggle with. I was like, there's no real representation of a girl like me
Yes.
that is on the front line, on the front street, mainstream of having vision, losing it, and still being, thriving, like successful and everything like that.
Yes.
And it's like,
Yes.
where can I find that?
Girl, I have a lot of blind friends, different ages, that
Mm,
are doing the doggone thing, different
yep.
in work fields. I mean, they doing it. They
Mm.
like motivate you, be like, yeah, like you're invincible. You could do anything. Just got to put your mind to it.
Yeah, and nothing is like nothing is too original. Somebody has done it, maybe not
Hmm.
the same exact way, but ask enough and you'll find out.
Right.
Like, okay, somebody attempted this before. So if you can get connected with them and see like, okay, so what happened? That's how I was going back to college. I was just so scared to go
Hmm.
back to college. And then I had a friend who went to one of the neighboring campuses to my college, and she was blind and she went through it. I'm like, well, she has more vision than me. That's how she was able to do it, but she still did it and got her associates.
Yes.
I'm like, and then
Yes.
I'm joining blind groups, and I'm like, hold on, wait, these people say they got their masters, they doctors, like they
Yes.
school.
Yes,
So
baby.
I was just like, okay. When I had questions, I'll just jump in the group. How y'all do this?
That's what you
How
got
did you
to
do
do.
this? What
Yeah.
resources did you use? And then just not being afraid to ask,
Yes, ma'am.
because that was one of the things, and one of my most self-sabotaging things and qualities about myself is that I'm gonna try to figure it out before I ask. And sometimes you can just ask first.
Yes, yes.
Say like, okay, I'm about to do this. How did you go through that process? And I'm not telling you to give me a step by step or a blueprint, but just talk me through your process. Like, how was your experience? And I can learn on my own.
Right, right. So, if you could leave a message for the world, what would you say about like blindness? How would you describe it? What would you tell them?
Blindness is hard, but it's not impossible.
Right.
So, and sometimes people like to do the glitz and glam, like, oh yeah, you know, it's not that hard being blind. Yes, it is. Yes, it
Mhm.
can be. It's all in your journey. You can't compare your journey to nobody else's journey, and just know that it's not impossible. There are 1,000 plus people who are experiencing the same thing that you are. So
Yes.
blindness is hard, but it's not impossible.
Yes. It's challenging. It has its very challenging moments, but you can always find a way out. You know,
Yeah.
especially when you try to do something, you're like, dang, I can't do this. You can. You just have to do it a different type of way than what you used to do it.
Yes. At Chris Cole, they always say yet. Like, I can't do this yet, or I haven't learned how to do this yet. And it's like
Yes.
that get factor is life changing.
Yes, yes. So I have enjoyed this conversation. Could you please let everyone know where to find you at? And we need to find out what this merch is. I know you said it in the middle, but I would like for you to repeat yourself again if you don't mind.
Yes, okay, y'all. So everything Professor Blindy and what I have going on can be found at Blind Intelligence, Intelligence, INtelligence. Sometimes intelligence be taking me, and I be like, "Am I quite intelligent enough to spell intelligence?" Because what? But that is Blind Intelligence. You may also see the associated name Professor Blindy pop up on all of my social media pages. My website is professorblindy.com. Any inquiries about speaking engagements or just learning more about me, you can email info at professorblindy.com. That's info at professorblindy, my bad, .com. I'm gonna spell Blindy again because I messed up, but Blindy is spelled Blindie. And yes, the t-shirts also. I'm gonna post a more recent link.
Okay.
But I have a link tree, and it'll take you to everything. My YouTube channel, Instagram, even though I'm posting there, Facebook, business card, all of that good stuff.
Okay.
And
And
I'll
here
drop
we
it in the
have it.
comments as well.
Ma'am, what you said?
I said that I'll drop it in the comments as well.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And here we have it again, y'all. Another smashing episode of Blind and Thriving, where we are all coming together and breaking stereotypes of what it is to be blind. Because you know they have all these stereotypes. So we chiseling them down one chisel at a time. And I want to thank you again for coming on, and I appreciate you so much because by you sharing your story, you are showing the world
Mm.
what blindness. You are a representation of blindness, and I appreciate that so much because some people, they don't want to share their story. They be scared. So
Mm.
thank you for being brave.
Thank you for having me on. I'm so glad that you have this platform and that you are highlighting other stories in the community because that's essential. Each one, teach one. Everybody knows somebody that can help somebody else.
and
So,
and yours have been so different because you are a mother
mm,
and you're raising your kids. They have a lot of people that think, dang, how I'm going have kids and raise them and stuff. And here you are, you're doing it.
yes.
So I want to thank you again. And
Thank
remember,
you.
God made only one you. Be the best version